Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Samsung Galaxy Tab S3. Today is launch day for those of you wondering. Hopefully this won't be an explosive product, at least in the sense that the Note 7 provided, but it should be a competent tablet to say the least. Now, I'm not sure why they didn't call this a Note tablet because it does have an S Pen. You can see S Pen, 9.7-inch display, 32 gigs of RAM. Of course, it is a Wi-Fi tablet. I went with the black version, and they are coupling it right now with a 64 gig micro SD card for your pleasure. That out of the way, let's take a look at specifications right here on the back. Give you a extreme close-up. So again, that's a 9.7-inch Super AMOLED display, my favorite, and Samsung makes some of the best, even though they're just getting started on the TVs. You've got a quad-core processor, 2.15 gigahertz plus a 1.6 gigahertz quad core, that is, 4 gigs of DDR4 RAM, a 13 megapixel rear camera, and a 5 megapixel front-facing camera. 6,000 milliamp battery, and they are really talking a lot about their speakers, the quad speakers tuned by AKG. We'll see how good they really are. I wasn't a huge fan of the on-bottom only, as bizarre as that sounds, audio from the Galaxy Tab S2, even though it was a competent tablet. You have AFC charging, 32 gigs of memory, and of course Samsung including Knox for security purposes. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and crack this sucker open. And it's been a while since I've done a tablet. I think the last one literally was the S2, and that's because, quite frankly, tablets, Microsoft kind of has put them to bed at this point, and I can't really tell you of too many great options outside, keep my fingers please, outside of going with a Surface. And, a lot of these parts seem like a rehash. At least when they first announced it, I was saying to myself, please don't let this be that they're taking all the things that won't explode from the Note 7 production assembly line and throwing it into a tablet. But from what I've seen, this looks to be competent, to say the least, something that you could enjoy and use, especially if battery life is solid. Then we've got something cool here. So there is the S Pen right there, quick start guide, your charger, which again, for those of you wondering, we are not using a micro anymore. So that's one key difference. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly this thing charges. Don't believe there's anything under here. I will show you the S Pen quickly just so you can take a look. This is not your traditional S Pen that you'd associate with a Note phone, much larger and hopefully much better to use with this tablet. With that said, let's go ahead and remove the sheath if I can. Is there any good way of doing this ever? This is really interesting. There we go. Oh, they want me to destroy it. This is a new one, so it's just gonna, well, no, I gave it too much credit. I was gonna say it's just gonna slide off each side. Very thin tablet. Again, this is the black finish. Remember that whether you go with black or silver, this is what the front of the tablet's gonna look like. Your color selection is really going to determine what the side of the tablet and back of the tablet look like. So that's what you really want to pay attention to. Now, let me go ahead and try to power this up, see if you can see the AMOLED before I wrap this up. And of course, we have a physical button here, home button, your multitasking button, your back button, like most Samsung devices, that 5 megapixel camera right here at top center, a little bit of Samsung branding, and the tablet is booting. Interesting little thing there. There we go. Drawing out the Samsung rendering. Speakers at the bottom, charging port right here. Let's move that crap out of the way. You can see it, hopefully. Use the hands to bring this into focus. There we go. So we've got our 3.5 milli headphone jack, charging port, speakers flanking that. Around the side, we've got what I believe more speakers, but they could be connection ports. I'm not sure. I know that is for the optional keyboard dock accessory, which looks interesting, but I'm not trying to use this as a computer. So yeah, those are not speakers. We have speakers at the top though, again, and on the rear that 13 megapixel camera with flash right above the Samsung branding, and then the branding for tuned by AKG. And then we have our power button right here and our volume rocker right here. micro SD card slot right here, and a reset pinhole. I'm not sure if that's a microphone pinhole, but let's see if this thing has, yes, it has booted. So there you have it. Yeah, it doesn't look great. I already see how this is getting rendered. But, if I could take it through the motions and go ahead and jump onto the actual network and play with brightness, which it's not going to let me do right now, I don't believe. Let's see. Oh, it will. Oh, if the robo voice is just beautiful. I know that's not going to be picked up. Oh, it's not letting me do what I want to here. Either way, of course, I will be following up with this, and you won't see the refresh rate issues you're seeing here. It's doing it's giving me robo voice in terms of directions. It's not letting me actually just get to the home screen. You can see the voice assistant has been turned on. I've got to turn it off by hitting it 3 times. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't appear to have turned off. But anyway, I will, of course, update all of you with the performance. But you can see really thin profile, 9.7-inch tablet there. The screen stopped looking like that because it wasn't an extreme close-up. It is a really resilient-looking display. Unfortunately, there is nowhere to stow the pen. So that's part of the reason they're not calling this a Note, even though it does come with the S Pen. And here you can see all of my neighbors' networks. I think you know which is mine. At least while I'm not living in my home, it's still in the process of being rebuilt. But that's pretty much it. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.